Black Girls Rock is an annual television show that airs on BET. The focus is on women of color.
Feels right to have a woman follow President
in fields of
President Obama.
Entertainment, medicine, education, entrepreneurship. And it showcases these women, grown women, and also young girls coming up, visionaries that are coming up in the new field. The show debuted in 2000, but this year was special. It was graced by our FLOTUS. The First Lady of the United States made a special appearance at this year's award show and gave such an enthralling and encouraging speech. But it begs the question, with such a powerful leader taking such a stand on such a beautiful stage, what happens in the future? Is it something that's related just because it happens to be a black first lady? When there are white first ladies, will they be invited? Will they have anything to say to our young girls of color? Nerdy, what do you think?
Well, I look at it like this. Let's see what she really had to say.
Excited to be here at Black Girls Rock. Oh. To all the young women here tonight and all across the country, let me say those words again. Black girls rock. We rock. We rock. No matter who you are, no matter where you come from, you are beautiful. You are powerful. You are brilliant. You are funny. Let me tell you, I am so proud of you. My husband, your president, is so proud of you. And we have such big hopes and dreams for every single one of you. Now, I know that's not always the message that you get from the world. I know there are voices that tell you that you're not good enough, that you have to look a certain way, act a certain way, that if you speak up, you're too loud. If you step up to lead, you're being bossy.
What do you think happened with that?
Are you being bossy? Now, you're a black girl. Now, we all know that the black woman has been pushed to the forefront of the black community. It's the only community in the world, in America, where the woman is either equal or more powerful than her man. And we see what's going on in the black community.
So you blaming that on black women?
No, it's not a fact that you blaming it on black women. It's the fact that women, when you're in a war, because that's what's going on now, it's seriously a war. People being murdered, taken out. And the reason why you would push a woman to the forefront is because you can use her strengths against her. You know, her caring, her patience, her understanding. Now, you can use it to benefit you too, but you can use it against it. For example, if I'm coming to do something to a woman or to her group, and I'm going to want to do some real harm and damage, there are many women out there that will sit there and take the high road and say, hey, let's talk this out and try to talk this out. This is what happened back in Africa. They came over there with them Bibles, not to go. You understand what I'm saying? And so I just don't understand why it has to be. No, I take that back. Her words is there's voices and there's people out there who say certain things about you. Why don't she just get to the point? We all know all those negative attributes that are attributed to black women come from the media. 99% of them comes from the media, whether it's secondhand or firsthand. It's coming from the media. So I'm not understanding that.
Well, I do feel like that Black Girls Rock is a good thing. I realize that they're girls, they hear all kinds of things, even in the slang that's getting added to the dictionary. Do you think that words like thought, that hoe over there, was introduced to the popular vernacular to describe white women, no matter how slutty they are? If they're slutty, oh no, don't do any slut shaming. But if it's a black woman, oh yeah, she's the princess of Thoughtlandia. these crazy things like that. And the media pushes that forward. It pushes on girls younger and younger and younger. Craziest thing ever. When I taught preschool, and I had a 4-year-old out on the swings playing, and she started dancing on the swing, on the edge of the swing, as if it's a stripper pole. And one of the kids said she got it from her mama, and the girl said, "No, I didn't. I got it from my grandma." These are the things that we need to combat, because truth be told, she didn't get it from, even her grandmother got it from the media. So I do think that this is an opportunity for the black community to kind of come together and combat these and say, you know what, this is not how we think of our girls. This is not how we raise our girls. And we're not going to let you superimpose these images on our girls going forward. My issue, actually the only issue that I do have, is not even with Black Girls Rock. It's with the media and society as a whole. The only reason that, just like you said, this is the only society where women are pushed to the forefront. Women are always going to be strong and take a stand for what they believe in and fight and protect their families. But they're pushing them to the forefront. So therefore, Black Girls Rock is allowed by the power structure to exist.
Man, you know who financing that.
It's allowed to exist. We should also have a Black Boys Rock, actually Black Men Rock, because I don't even want to start doing that. But you'll never see it. You won't see the Black empowerment on a public level like Black girls for our young boys, our communities, our families as a whole, because the media and the power structure, it doesn't fit their agenda. We need to start doing it anyway. That's why we need to be behind the media so we can push some of these things forward and create a balance that just hasn't been there.
Now, I know black women go through a lot, especially when it comes to beauty. And that's what gets me. Whenever this is in a public eye, it's always about beauty. You know, the happiest I ever seen a black woman is the day they found out white women wear weaves. Boy, sister, like, they wear weaves too.
Boy, I can't tell you the conversations I've had about that.
Boy, black women was happy to find that out.
As if hair weaving would even be an industry if white women didn't need them too.
Yeah, and so what happens is, like, sometimes when I meet a black woman and she'll say, well, you know, I don't like drama, but everything she watch on TV is drama related. Scandal, Empire, you name it. Oh, my body's a temple. And she'll have more tattoos than a prison inmate. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm independent. But yeah, she'll be on the phone all the time. Every time something's bothering her, she's on the phone with her mama, her best friend, her auntie. And you sitting there as a man, and she want to tell you, well, I'm not going to even get into all the stereotypes that women, you know what I'm saying? You know, that comes up.
So that's what men are really thinking when women going, you ain't shit.
Yeah. And so I get it, because in America, this is supposed to be a melting pot. That's what they created. However, the problem with this is they set a standard, and the standard is the white standard. That's what they did. It's not a professional standard. It's a white standard. Now, if it was just a professional standard, because you as a black woman can go into a job with your hair a certain way, your clothes a certain way, and you can still be professional. But they have used the media to make certain things you do look inappropriate or inappropriate, right? And so that's how they get away with it without being considered a racist. And it all comes back to, and I hear women all the time, black women, anytime they're talking about this type of situation, it all comes back to beauty. Why you touching my hair? Why I can't wear my hair this way? Why you can't do this? Why you can't do this? You know, it's in there. That's what I liked about the FLOTUS, when she was bringing up more than just the beauty. You can laugh. You funny, right? She was focusing on the positive attributes of black women, which is beautiful, because we all know who focus on the negative aspects of it. Mm-hmm. But where I'm coming from is, we need to stop supporting anybody or anything that contributes to it. Okay, you can't be a black woman calling yourself a queen
and then turn it around and saying a thought or
a
hoe.
But all your conversation is what's going on with the Kardashians. All your conversation is what's going on with this. Or did you see, or you sitting at home watching Jerry Springer or Murray all damn day, but want to be treated like a queen. That's all I'm saying. It's like
I just feel a need to amen you on that, because I see that all the time. We go into all that. We see it on TV, and people emulate what's on TV. They don't even know that they do it, but they do. If you're a queen, it's your job to infuse consciousness. That's your job.
yeah. I mean, back in the day, all these women who call themselves queens, they really like Tupac. A man
He
who
is
promoted
fine.
a man who promoted thug life, which is, and he called women bitches and then told you why he was calling you a bitch. And you sit there and rah-rah, which is okay, because that's a form of entertainment. That's how a lot of people look at it. Well, it's just entertainment. No, you cannot. That would be like a black man watching someone in the Klan or a white person make songs about nigga this, nigga that, my nigga over here. How would you support that? As a black man, I wouldn't support any music like that. So every time you support a black male artist who is using lyrics like that, and I know if you heard it, you do what you want, you grown. Okay, that's fine. But then you want to turn around and get mad because that same artist only put certain or particular girls in his videos, light skin, long hair, big butts, or they dancing scantily. But yet you still went and bought his album. You understand what I'm saying?
I totally get what you're saying. Women can't go and do that. Same token, I feel like men can't. Just like you use that analogy about the men artists saying niggas and my nigga this and that nigga over there. It needs to be it has to have that standard. Just as a community, if we're gonna elevate, that's what we got to do.
Yeah, and let me touch on this. The one thing that really gets me is when she took a lot of flack. The FLOTUS took a lot of flack for saying that. Right. And it gets me when white people come up and say, or they'll say, well, if we said that, do y'all really want to battle with some double standards?
Not for real.
It's almost like when they want to say the N-word. Well, we can't say the N-word. You can have the N-word. Let me get some double standards that we can't do that you could do. You want to trade them? You understand what I mean? It's like, do you really want to go there?
You don't.
They don't.
You don't.
They really don't. A black woman has to deal with, when she talking about these black girls rock, I know I just said all that stuff, but I didn't take it personally. I knew exactly what that's all about. These empowering girls. Mm-hmm. I got nieces.
Right.
I want them to see that. I want them to feel that. If I have daughters one day, I want them to go through all that. I want them to feel empowered because I know how society is treating them, especially when it comes to images. They do y'all worse. See, they took us out physically. They trying to take us out physically. They took y'all out mentally and emotionally with the TV, with the media. You know what I'm saying? They started back playing on your anger. Oh, yeah. They showed all these. At one time, there were only people on TV that they would show.
For the maids.
Well, of course, all that. But I'm talking about like athletes. You know how people looked up to athletes? They might have been sexy to you. You might have been attracted to them. Oh, he has a white girl. So now you have a whole bunch of black women thinking, oh, they get all this money and then they want the white girl, which is a stereotype. We talk about it all the time. But that played on your emotion. You understand what I'm saying?
I do, and that's why you have different ones going back and forth, and like the young lady we talked about in another episode who has an issue with black people who date outside of their race, and she makes that real public. We don't want to get into that. One thing I did, like you brought out that whole beauty situation, is that is such an ongoing battle, even within the black community. Whether your hair is straight, whether you weave it, wig it, you rock your fro, you rock your natural, you twist it, whatever you do, somebody's got something to say about it. It's not that way for any other group. Any other group. White women can color their hair, they relax their hair, they perm their hair, they use chemicals. Nobody looks at them and says, you don't like who you are. If they get a perm so that their hair is curly, you don't like who you are. All women want something different. Everybody, because beauty is exoticism. If you look like everybody else, you just look like everybody else. And that was one of the things that I really liked about the show, was that you did see women of all different complexions, all different heights, different body types, different hair colors, different clothing styles. And it was just like, wow, it felt good. So like I said, my only issue was I want more of that. That's my issue. I want more of what we saw there without the interruptions of the stupidness of the if I wanna wear my hair straight, I'll wear it straight. You might, matter of fact, you probably gonna see it big next week. You just never know how I'm gonna come out the box. So, and that's how all women are. Not all black women, but all women
in general
are.
That's what I'm saying. They play on your emotion because it's beyond beauty. Okay, like if this white person, there's people who wrote these articles about the FLOTUS and her saying that, and some people even went as far as they're calling her racist, but yet they won't call the media racist when a little black girl's kidnapped, and they have no coverage, and then they wonder why black girls want to rock. A little black girl can get kidnapped tomorrow. A black woman can get kidnapped tomorrow. Is it going to be on TV?
Not at all.
No, but they'll make excuses for that. They'll call it the white girl syndrome. How the hell? That's straight up racism.
It's racism, and if it's racism, it's insanity.
The missing white girl syndrome. How you just gonna sit there and label your racism so you can get away with it? Okay, if a white girl can't read, what they gonna say?
She's dyslexic.
Okay, if a black girl can't read, oh, she just dumb.
She dumb.
Okay, if a black girl acting crazy, she got an attitude. If a white girl acting crazy, ADD. Come on, man. And you sitting there like, if a black girl have a drug problem, oh, she's a burden to society. A white girl has a drug problem, she's just young. Help. She's young, going through a phase. It's a party girl. You know, come on. But see, they so used to this happening and putting on us. That's why I wanted the FLOTUS to go right to the source, which is the media. But they never do. Black girls grew up looking at magazines and stuff, seeing women and skinny as being the thing to be. Right. White girls seen the same thing too. However, what would happen to the white girl? I almost used to feel sorry for fat white women because they never got represented on TV.
They catch it. Fat white women.
Yeah, you talk about somebody get stereotyped.
How many of them there are? It's a lot.
Yes, a lot of them, and they can be. What can they be in movies? Comedians. And every time they have a show, this like they done had like 2 shows with fat white girls, and they both got fat husbands. There's fat women who don't want fat men.
It's most fat women don't.
That's what I'm saying. Men. But in the media,
trust me, I know.
Okay, but in the media, that's my whole point. It's like they playing with everybody's emotions, and black women, you know, it's like what I want to say to the white women. Say, now look at this right here. This girl right here was murdered by the cops. And, you know, we're going to be talking about that next, cops murder. But this black girl was murdered by the cops. There was no outrage from the black community, from black leaders. It wasn't a national story. That happened like 2 or 3 years ago in Chicago. She was murdered by the cops. She didn't have any guns or anything on her. That's why this Black Girls Rock, to show you this woman right here, her life has value too, right?
Right.
We can't wait for the media to cover this story, black leaders, to give value to her life. And that's what I'm trying to say. We got to stop letting the value system
somebody else's
being narrated by the media.
Right.
Until then, you're going to feel insecure. It's just going to happen, you know? And so now, let me say this to all you black women out there, especially you, Essence. You need this the most.
Bring it if you think it need to be brought.
Now, I'm going to say this, and this is not to black women, but this is to some of the lost sisters out there. This man has been plotting to get rid of the black man a long damn time. He's just in phase 1 right now, right? Now, instead of coming up with Black Girls Rock, because I know they talking about young black girls, but let's add something to it. Let's start the movement Black Family Rocks.
There you go.
Okay, let's start this Black Family Rocks, because that's what they was trying to break up. That's what they've been trying to divide all these years and separate. And they've done a great job at it. But I'm going to say this to you black women. When they get done getting rid of all the black men, who do you think is next?
There it is.